All right, this will be a trade recap for Tuesday, January 12th, 2026. Let's fire up the charts. All right, so here we go. So as usual, trading SPY and Qs. It was a fairly clean day, price action wise. And as usual, you can see daily chart here on the left, 1 minute chart here on the right. All these levels are plotted pre-market, so nothing changes. These light blue ones, again, are just technical support and resistance levels. And then the solid light red ones, I started plotting out risk just to kind of show what that looks like and help keep track of it. With the one exception of here on Qs, this light blue line right here, it was just a level that I wanted to keep track of because it looked like it had been interacting with it, and again was a technical resistance level depending on exactly where we opened up and where we went this morning. So the plan was fairly straightforward, but a little different. So Qs, we're mainly watching that one for a short. So coming into, again, the open, we had the inflation data come out, which kind of threw some volatility into the session pre-market. Then again, as it came down, you kind of see where it started interacting with things. And then basically just kind of waited to see where this thing would ultimately open up. And right there at the open, it came down more or less right in this level right at the open, which isn't really enough distance to execute off of. And the SPY or the short had way more protection on it. So elected to wait, which was, again, the better opportunity there. So again, we start making our way up, came up into this area, looked like it wasn't going to necessarily actually get where I would have liked it to start in. I mean, it was real close. It was right on that edge. And I was like really contemplating whether or not just to pull the trigger, but again, discipline. It needs to be in the right place because you have to account for, again, risk. So like on this one, I mean, that's damn near a point right there. So again, if you execute early, you kind of have to factor that into your risk, and all of a sudden it can really, again, take you outside kind of the boundaries you choose to operate in. So again, waited, came up into it. Executions real quick. So it came up, executed this one right here as it was coming into it. Then as it pushed up, was getting ready to average in. I was considering right there, but I wanted to see if we could actually get it right up to the top, and it did. And that's the second execution right there. And then from there, again, as soon as it first reaction down, it's coming down, and again, this kind of area right here on that first candle. So again, and the level, so potential for it to just bounce and continue to go higher and then squeeze and run away. So took off some there and then kind of just gave it a moment to see it. And then again, started breaking down and exited the position for pretty typical green trade. And then as things continued along, SPY started, again, working its way down. So move that out the way. And for SPY, this was a quick one. Started working its way down, and just like on Qs, particularly like the short because of the protection it offered. On SPY, it was actually the opposite. It was the long that had the better protection. So for that, waited for it to kind of monkey around in between, like in this inner channel. And there was opportunity there to take that, but with already having, like, again, gotten the main play on Qs, wasn't really looking to potentially risk the green day on something that's not the strongest in terms of potential follow through and setup. So just waited again, and as it broke down, again, you can see that lines with where Qs kind of came up and then rejected. So as it was breaking down, came down. Didn't wait exactly for the level because this level is kind of based off of trend. It's not a perfect level. So there's, when you're playing trend, there's some give and take to that. So you got to take that into account. So started in, again, small position, and then basically just waited for that first reaction and popped up. And again, I would say huge, it doesn't look like a huge amount of follow through, but honestly, I mean, that's at 94.22 and that's at 95.16. So that's almost a point in range there. So again, and then hitting it in the right spot, both the top and the bottom, it's one of those things where it's like, that's all you need. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where the price action was fairly clean today. Didn't feel like there was any real games going on or anything like that. Follow through was good. Premium was better than it was yesterday. Yesterday it was definitely elevated. So it's something you do need to watch out for there. Sometimes when there's stuff going on in the market, catalyst or just volatility in general, that will push the premium up, and you kind of have to factor that into your sizing to make sure you don't oversize in a position. Again, if you're used to taking a certain number of contracts in a position as a max, you might want to, again, dial that down as the premium's increasing just to kind of offset that risk. But other than that, yeah, fairly straightforward. Good day. Can't really think of a huge amount of issues. The only thing I would probably critique myself on is potentially maybe waiting for this level to come in more properly. But given the nature of the trend line, it's like could have, but not necessary per se. So yeah, again, it's one of those things where with two trades that worked out great. Good entries, good exits. Really don't look for more than that. And again, one of my issues in the past has been overtrading. So at that point in time, it's time to just call it. It's good. Don't need to, again, capture every opportunity that's presented. And there were more that came in, as you can see, like right through here on SPY. This was the main level that was being watched. Again, got a small reaction off there on the long, but broke through, came up to back test the level, and then sold right off. And that would have been, again, right there. Twice, tested it twice, gave you the confirmation. And that would have been, again, pretty easy, straightforward trade, very clean. And that corresponds with what Qs did here off of this level, even though this wasn't the main level. Getting it back up into here, I mean, that would have probably dragged Qs a bit higher, which something else you got to watch out for. But yeah, again, good opportunities, fairly straightforward for that first hour-ish of the market. And yeah, that's really all I'm interested in trading. Again, that way the market isn't too crowded. It doesn't start doing weird things, squeezes, or it starts grinding. So again, try to limit, again, trading to, again, that first hour, especially for day trading. It's like you don't need to be glued to your monitors for the entire session. It's just, again, not one of those things where we really want to do that. You know, if you're doing this as a full-time job and it's a full-time income, being done after an hour, go enjoy the rest of your day. Doesn't really get much better than that. But yeah, that's really all I got for today. See you guys tomorrow for the next one. Have a good one.